Can you hear me? Is it good? Yeah, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. We are very happy to be here in Irbid. Did I say it right? Irbid? It's my first time. I'm impressed. It's a big city. And we from ROWAD are very happy to present this workshop for you. And I hope it gives you a lot of practical tips for you in the classroom. Ahmed? So today I'm going to talk about motivating and meaningful teaching through, Playhouse, yeah? By Miss Kara Williams, Kim Patterson, and me, Anna Carvalho. Please, Ahmed. Yes, so who am I? A desk ninja, maybe? No, just kidding. Please, one more. Yes, I'm Brazilian. I'm from Brazil. And now I'm a citizen of the Middle East. And I'm an instructional designer and author with Preiss Murphy. I'm TESOL trained teacher. I have 7 years of experience teaching. All the levels you can think of, real beginners to advanced, little children to adults. And I'm also a translator. Ahmed, please. Okay. This one? Why? Okay. Sorry. Do you hear me? Okay, so next slide, please. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Preiss Murphy. So why is Preiss Murphy such a great company, and why is it the best in this region? Okay, it's not because I work there, no. One of the things is that we are BSME associates. What is that? BSME is a network of British schools in the Middle East. It's a network that stimulates and helps teachers, principals, schools in general to exchange information, to keep up to date, to know about new technologies and developments, and especially for the British schools and British curriculum. Our team of teachers, authors, experts, we are truly international. We have team members from Canada, America, South America, Australia, Africa, Middle East, Europe. So indeed, we are an international company, and we can say we think globally, but we act locally because we are based here in Middle East as well. And what does that mean? It means we know you. We know what you need. Next. Okay, so today, what am I going to talk about? If you are good students and help me, of course. Challenges about the Playhouse series, teaching activities for vocabulary, for speaking lessons, and for grammar. Then, obviously, questions and feedback. Okay, so let me ask you first. When do you teach a new book? What challenges do you face? Can you tell me? The first thing that comes to your mind. Microphone, please, for them. Does anyone want to say something? Here? Yes, please.
Maybe the first thing that comes to my mind, maybe I don't have the experience of the book, with the book.
Thank you. Anybody else? No one? Yes, so Ahmed, please slide. Yeah, the first thing that comes to your mind. Next. Okay, so let me touch on these things. Yes? Cultural and religious issues. We are in a very conservative region, majority of Muslims and the Muslim community. And sometimes we worry that the books that we buy and use will show things that are not appropriate for our culture, right? So here we at Preiss Murphy know that, and we cater, we help the teachers because we avoid sensitive subjects. I'll give you an example. We observe the dress code, right? So in a conservative society of Muslims and Christians, we should not show too much of the body. So that we take into consideration when we create our books. So that's one example. Another one, multi-level classes. Sometimes you will find in your class students that do not know anything about English. They have never really studied English or been exposed to English. And we can also have a native speaker. You can also have, okay, the average students, they have some knowledge, but they do not have the competence to communicate and interact. We also pay attention to that, how our activities and our lessons are paced gradually, and the difficulty increases slowly, so that you can take your student that is more challenged or has less experience slowly to increase their competence and their potential. Okay, next. Sorry, go back. The students' needs. Okay, we are based here in the Middle East. So our experts and our presenters have actually taught in the Middle East. I have taught in schools in Amman, second graders, third graders. So we actually know the difference between an Arab student and a student from, let's say, Germany. Yeah? So it's different. You all know that. It's a different alphabet. It's a different culture. It's a different religion. So even the personality of the Arab student is different, right? Yes. So that we take into consideration as well. Why? Because we are here. Another one, are we teaching the 4 skills, right? Are we actually teaching the kids all they can perform or realize in English? We think about that too. In our books, we touch all the skills in an integrated manner to guarantee that your student has the development advantage, because they will use everything they need to communicate. Next, please. Right, so I will remind you, I know that you know about Playhouse. You also have your kit, and you have I'll remind you of the components of our book series, which is for the student book, and the workbook. And the teacher also has, oops, everything's falling. The teacher's guide with audio CDs, right? And you have posters, grammar posters, flashcards, word cards. And we also have optional 2 other books to support your skills teaching, which is Read to Succeed for the reading, and Grammar Kids for writing. Oh, for grammar. Next. Yes, so before I forget, I did not see the slide, but anyway. This is an actual copy of the scope and sequence for Playhouse Kids 3. I'm going to show you just that the book is divided into 4 sections. Next. We have word power, which is vocabulary, conversation, speaking and listening, grammar, and skills. Okay, now, before I touch on this subject, I did not see the slide. I think we ran, no, it's okay. We passed them really quickly. On your contribution, one of the challenges that the teachers have is exactly how do I teach this book? What techniques can I use? What resources do I have? Do I know how to use the resources to the most advantage, right? So I'm going to try to show you a little bit about that in the presentation. No, please. So, challenges that you have when you teach vocabulary. But first tell me, why do we teach vocabulary first? Who can answer? Or who has an idea? No? Yes, please. Exactly. And not just the lesson. For example, why do we learn a new language? To communicate, to have a conversation, to write a letter or an email, to message. So for example, if I say to you, table, big, is it correct English? No. But did I give you some kind of message? You understood. I said the table is big. So when you communicate language, the first thing that you have, sorry, the sound is, the first thing that you use is exactly vocabulary. If you don't know the name of things, it doesn't matter if you know verbs or grammar or adjectives or, for example, that's how I speak Arabic. Table big. My Arabic is like that. Do I communicate? Yes. Is it correct? No. But you develop. So that's why you teach vocabulary first. That's why we organize the book like that. So the challenge is to teach vocabulary. First, you want your student to understand the meaning, right? The meaning has to be clear. Then you want them to pronounce, to say the word correctly. Okay, not perfect. Yeah, perfect. But you want them to pronounce. You want them to associate what you taught with his life. Why? Yes, or to, yes, and to know that if he associates that thing that he learned with his life, you're thinking, he's going to use that word. For example, I learned taula. Taula, okay, I use taula, table, in my life. So you associate with your life. You sit, you eat, you sit with your friends. And that comes to the other thing, you want them to use the language. So what's the point if you learn and you don't use, right? But how do you do that? Oh, yeah, I forgot, sorry. I want you to read this and tell me if you agree or you disagree with this statement. Can you read it? So, it's saying here, most students understand everything. They have no problem to understand. Table, big, right? But do they use the new words? That's the problem. They forget, right? They forget, and then next class, what's this? Mes, taula, right? So what do you want? You don't want them to forget. Next. How do you do that? Well, you use realia. What's that? Who knows what realia is?
Vocabulary.
Perfect, thank you. So, for example, I want to teach vocabulary. I want to say this is milk. Why not show a bottle of milk? Give milk to the kids. Or yogurt, right? So when you give them a real thing that they can touch and they can experience, especially young learners. That's our case. We are grade 3 in this example, right? So if you have them touch, you have them play with it, you have them look around, so you will help them use, associate, remember, right? Visual clues. Okay. I want to say, kids, today I'm going to teach you table. Okay, table. What's a table? I'm going to tell you about garlic. What's garlic? This is garlic. Yeah, so this is a visual clue. You give them images to associate, right? Same with words. They remember the word and they associate with the image, right? Movement and gestures. For example, if I do this, look, what do you think I mean? All of you, everyone. If I do this, your turn, right? If I do this, speak. If I do this, again, repeat. So you see, after some time, if I do this, the child or the student or the adult, they will immediately know what you're talking about. So you don't need to always repeat what you're saying. You just do, right? Or attention, yeah? Or your turn. Say it, listen, repeat, right? So the movement helps you teach what you need and helps you through your lesson and make sure that the child understands. So after some time, you don't need to speak certain things. They associate, they know. Say it. Again, it's repetition, right? Why do we repeat things? Why do we repeat things? To remember, right? To remember, especially young children, but not just young children, adults, yeah? Also, word games and activities. Why? Why is this especially important for young learners? Because the favorite thing they have in their lives that they do is playing. Have fun. So why would I learn something? Table, chair. It's boring, right? So why not run and touch the table, run and touch the chair, run and sit, things like that. So word games to teach vocabulary or competitions or other activities that are fun, it will motivate them, it will be meaningful to them, they will cooperate with you, and it will be nice. Okay, recycle. Who can tell me the rule or the role of recycling in vocabulary, learning and teaching? Any ideas? Okay, so what do I mean by recycling? It's not getting your trash and making it something else, no. It's, for example, you learn something this week, right? You learn it, you know it, you use it, you're perfect. And then next week, maybe you don't remember it that well, but then your teacher, when she's teaching the next unit, what does she do? She reminds you of what was before, right? So what is she? Yes, somebody? Yeah, she recycles, she revisits, she recalls everything that allows you to bring it back to you again. So that's recycling. And that we do a lot in Playhouse. You will see vocabulary that you learned in Unit 5, you're still using in Unit 10, for example. Next. Okay, so now let's get to business. We're going to teach vocabulary. Unit 5, page 40, food items, resources I have. And today I'm going to try to do all the demonstrations without using anything that is not from our resource pack. Okay? So I'm going to try to show you that you can work in a nice way with simple things, right? Next, please. Yes, so to teach that, what do you have to do? What's the process for you to teach? You prepare, present, practice, produce, and recycle. What's that, to prepare? Any ideas? Ready for the class. To help them activate, to bring their previous knowledge, what they already know, back to the front of their minds to help you do what? Present or teach. And then, after you present, everybody understands, everybody does everything. Oh, all good? What do? You practice. When you practice, you also evaluate your students, right? When they show what they're doing, you can say, oh, there's a problem there. I have to go back and try to find a different way to teach. Am I right? You produce. What do you think about this word? What is that? In language teaching.
The result of my class or the result of my teaching for the student in that class.
I can't hear.
The result?
Yes. Yes, it's the result. It's when you see your students producing language or performing or using what you taught, practice, and now they're going to use it. And then finally, you recycle. Next. Yeah, so let's start talking about our lessons. So our theme today is let's cook, but I'm sorry, but I'm very hungry. Are you hungry? Raise your hand if you are hungry. Yes, we are very hungry. Okay, so let's cook and eat. Yeah? Can you cook? Yes. Can you cook? What do you cook? Everything? I want to go to her house. Do you cook? What do you cook? Omelette. Yay! Okay, now I'm hungrier. Okay. What do you use to make your omelette? Eggs. Oops, I cannot write anything with this, sorry. Okay. Eggs. What else? Parsley. That's a fancy omelette. Pepper. What else? Salt. Oh, you want to say something?
Yes, I am cooking spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Spaghetti. Oops, I forgot how we spell spaghetti. Thank you. So, let's cook omelets. First, she said, we need eggs. Yeah? I need a volunteer. Who wants to come? Come. What do you see, everyone? What do you see in the picture? Kitchen. Show me the eggs.
It's number 5.
Oh, number 5. What can you see? What's this?
Milk.
And what's this?
Onion.
Onion, garlic, and
Pepper.
this one,
Pepper. Salt, pepper.
pepper.
Yes.
Do you see olives? Where? Point.
Yes, it's number 1. Yes.
Olives, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so what's this? Garlic. Oops. What are these? Salt and pepper. This is salt and pepper. What are these? Olives. Yogurt. What's this? Butter or butter. Yes. Sorry. Repeat. Salt and pepper. Olives. Good job. Next. What did I do? When I said, I'm hungry, who cooks? What do you cook? I personalize. What else? Did I prepare? How did I prepare? I try to make you remember about food, right? And I wrote on the board. Why did I write on the board? For them to see and remember. And what did I do when I showed you things? You repeat. And for those that do not know the words, they learn them, right? But now we need to do what? Now they know what they mean, right? If I show them salt and pepper, they know it, but they may forget. What do we do for them not to forget? They don't like me, the flashcards. They hate me. Sorry. It happens a lot. Okay. Next, please. Right. So you see, I'm hungry. Are you hungry? Let's cook, eat. Can you cook? Who cooks? See? Where are the point? Right? So what did I try to do? Prepare and present. And now what do we need to do now? Practice. How do we do that? I have flashcards. I have the CD, the book. I can make, yes, worksheets. But before even I write worksheets, yeah? Before that, what can we do like in a fun, nice way to practice? Next. Next. Next one, Kim. No, it's, I need concentration. I think it's next. Next. Yes, stop there, please. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how we can play a game of concentration. Here, I did it on the PowerPoint, but you do it with your flashcards, okay? You can do it both ways. I'll use the computer just because it's easier, but you see, it's the same thing. The picture and the words, right? Okay. So, when I do this, what does it mean? Yes. And this, speak. Again, right. And this, or point. right? So, my instructions. Listen and speak. Eggs. Milk. Carrots. Cucumbers. Olives. Mushrooms. Peppers. Eggs. Milk. Carrots. Cucumbers. Peppers. Mushrooms. Olives. Eggs. Milk. Carrots. Cucumbers. Peppers. Mushrooms. Good job. One more, just one. Point and say. Good job. Is it nice? Does it help you remember? Do you think your students will like it? And you can use just the flashcards. You have them all on the board, or half of them if you have a lot, and you just remove and they'll repeat. So I show you that you can practice in a fun way, right? Next one, please. Okay. Huh? Good job. You got an A. Next. So what did I do? Practice. How? Right? Did all of you participate? Yes. Is that what you want, everyone? Yes. Next. So concentration, just the instructions to remind you. Next. Another one, yeah? You can also do it with your flashcards. They hate me, but have patience. What you're gonna do, I'm gonna use these. You're gonna put your flashcards on the board, face down, right? You put them randomly, not in sequence. This activity works for small groups and big groups. I have done it with second graders, third graders, seventh graders, even first graders. You can do this kind of activity and they enjoy. So, if you have a small group, for example, it has to be the most difficult way. Yeah. If you have a small group, you ask each student to come to the front of the class, and they will do what? Yeah? Salt and pepper. And then they will pick another card, right? Is it a match? No. What do I do now? Flip it. The same student or another student? Another student. If I have a big group, how do I do this game? How do I have them work? I can divide the class into Believe me, I have a loud voice. Okay. I'll divide my class into, yeah? And to guarantee that I have all my students participating, what can I do? I can ask, instead of 1, 2 students to come to the front of the class. And what do? I ask the first student to flip 1. And what does he do? Yogurt, right? Now the second student, yogurt. Is it a match? Yes. So they take the card and I give them 1 point. Volunteers? I need 2 volunteers to show me. I don't think it's necessary, so next. We learn, right? How to do it. Okay, so I just a script. And then for more practice, you can follow your instructions in your teacher's book because they have read and you do it activities. Also, I want to show you another activity. Next. The same thing. Practicing what? Vocabulary. Charade and Pictionary. We have 20 questions. Who knows this game? 20 questions. Nobody? I will explain. For example, I have 1 student and I give him 1 card or 1 word. Nobody sees, just the student, the volunteer. He keeps the card, yeah? Now, you have to ask him only 20 questions and guess what is, right? So for young learners, you can ask, is it sweet? I'll answer, yes. Is it a vegetable? Yes. You understand? So now, let me try to do this. I have a card. You ask me. No. No. 2 questions already, huh? Yes. No. No. I can only say yes or no. Yes. Yes. Right? So point for you. So in this game, did everyone participate? Yes.
You can't deal with this, with this games. Okay. What about individual differences that you can face it in your class?
Yes. So you can, that's why you suggest to them very simple questions. Like, is it? Is it? Is it? I did this
Yes or no?
with KG.
But we don't have enough time. The material is too long.
Oh. Now this is for you. You can do it practice once. Maybe you will get more results from this than doing a worksheet. So sometimes you have a little bit of extra time, or sometimes you see that your students are sleeping in the classroom. You do this as a warm-up. Take 5 minutes. You don't need to play this the whole class, or 10 minutes, or 20 minutes. 5 minutes or less. 1 time, twice at most. I understand time because we have to teach the books. Here in Jordan, the ministry demands you to what? Finish the book.
To complete all the book, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So this, sometimes an activity like this helps you more than doing an extra worksheet, than having the students sit and finish written work. Then, if you use this as a warm-up, you can do your worksheet and maybe you'll get better results, right? Why? Because you practice, it was fun, you use the structure, very simple. Is it white? Is it green? Is it a vegetable? You leave it on the board. So everyone, imagine a student, like you said, that has very little knowledge, or his performance is not as good. You leave, is it, on the board, yeah? Like this, is it? Leave yes and no. Even if he says, is it أبيض? You understand? Because he's reading, everybody else can help him, white. And even you, is it white? Yeah. Then he will repeat, is it white? And then you continue. So you can actually use with beginners, very real beginners, and advanced students. So it's not a limitation. And you have Pictionary, which is similar, how you draw something on the board quickly, and you will guess, yeah? Okay. So,
carrot, yeah.
So you see, you actually play it very quickly. Why? Because you taught the vocabulary before.
Yes, I remember.
Right? You taught it before. It's not the first time they see it. So what are they doing here is practicing and using, right? Next. My question to you, can you use these activities in your classroom? Are they motivating? Are they meaningful? Next. Next. Happy students, happy teachers, right? So, next. Right. Do you have any questions for this section? Next, Kim. Aywa. Any questions so far? Any difficulties that you find? Things that you don't agree with me?
What about if we give some real material to the classroom? If it's beneficial for our students, like, for example, garlic?
Wait,
or,
please?
What about if we can give some real material to the classroom, like real garlic? If it's beneficial for our students?
You can use
if it is possible, of course.
Yes. You know what you can do with real things? For example, to guess
yes.
in the same way. You have a bag.
Yes.
You have garlic. Okay, it's going to smell, but yeah. Garlic, peppers. Okay, in this case, we have food, yeah?
Yes.
Garlic, pepper, olives. What else? Salt, pepper. You get one volunteer, and he touches something.
Yes. I think this is very beneficial for our students.
Very what?
Beneficial for our students in order to use the language vocabularies items.
Yeah. So you can do the same activity, but using real things, right?
Yes.
Any
Thanks.
comments? Thank you for your comment.
In each unit, we have at least 15 words, okay? So if, I don't think that this will take just 5 minutes.
You don't need to use all the words.
All the words is related to that, or to my unit, yani.
I know, but you don't need to practice all the words at once. You can change the activity. If you, young learners, let me try to explain. Young learners, they have a very short, what? Attention span. So if you have very long activities, what's going to happen? What? They are boring. And when kids are boring, what happens in your classroom? the kids are bored. What happens in your classroom? Believe me, I have a son like that. Under the table, on the table, behind the chair. So what do you do to avoid that? Make it short. Yes, and change the game. You can maybe say 12 words you have, play one game with 5, another game with 7. You understand what I mean? Change it. Don't stay in the same activity 25 minutes. You will lose your students. Am I right? Fast. Okay, it's difficult to do that, right? I'm saying, she's saying fast. She doesn't have 45 students, 8-year-olds trying to destroy my class. If you keep them interested and engaged, if you change the activity and they're enjoying, they will cooperate with you. Yes or no? Thank you. Now, please, Kim, no, don't change it. Click on conversation, please. So let's talk about teaching conversation. Again, we're following the sections of the book, right? So vocabulary, speaking, listening, and speaking. Next. Right. Why do I have to teach speaking? Everybody speaks. Why do I have to teach speaking? Huh? Well, you have to communicate somehow. What's the easiest way? Speaking. So if you speak, you communicate, right? What are the challenges? You want your children to do what? Communicate. You want them to pronounce. Okay, mistakes. What does mistake have to do with this? Your ideas. Sorry, I cannot see you guys there because the light is, I try to see you, but the light is on my, what the mistake have to do with teaching speaking? Yes, absolutely. But what I'm trying to show you as a challenge is sometimes the student, young learners, adults, you name it, they are afraid of making mistakes. Am I right? What happens when they are afraid of making mistakes? Do they speak? They are not afraid of making mistakes in writing. Why? Who will read their writing? The teacher. But if they make mistakes in speaking, what happens? Everybody makes fun of him. And we also have to help your students not to do that. Okay, she's just talking, but we can, if you insist, they eventually, instead of laughing, they help, instead of laugh, they help, right? Right, so the mistakes make them afraid of speaking. And that, what happens when you're afraid of speaking? Do you have fluency? No, you're not fluent. So now it comes to my sentence here. Do you agree? Most students have no problem understanding speech, but they don't have the confidence to speak. Okay, so how do I fix that? Not fix, okay, help them overcome this challenge of fluency. Okay, it has to be meaningful. What does that mean? Why is it related to speaking? Okay, imagine I have an 8-year-old in the classroom, right? Grade 3. Do I want to talk about medicine? No. Is it meaningful to them? No. What is meaningful to an 8-year-old? To talk about what? Toys, friends, school, family, right? So it's meaningful because it's part of their life. And the vocabulary. Do they have to have some vocabulary? Yes, so you taught vocabulary before, so you gave them the tools to communicate, to speak, right? The listening. Okay, what does it have to do? I'm talking about speaking. What does listening have to do with it? If they, yeah? Spelling, okay, but if we're speaking, we're not spelling, right? But yeah, I'll get there. If you listen to a language, after some time, what you're gonna do? You will repeat it, like a small child, a baby. He listens to his mother, his father, yeah? How many years before they say something? So the students have to listen to the language, to be exposed to it, to listen to people who can speak it well, right? And they have to say it. They have to repeat, right? Act it out. What does that mean? Use it. For example, you open your book, you have a dialogue or a story, and you ask your students to, yes, can it be in groups? Together with one friend? Yes, in front of the class? Yes, and I notice Arab students, which is very nice for teachers. This I did not notice in my country, in Brazil. You ask your students to come to the front of the class and act it out, everyone wants to do it. In my country, yeah, so Arabs have that. This is part of your culture. You are more qawi, confident. So this is very nice. I used to love doing this with my kids. Come to the front of the class, they all want to come. So take that opportunity, hold it, and use it, yeah? That's a very nice thing. And finally, you want them to talk, so make them talk. Next. How do I make them talk? We have now, again, Let's Cook, Lesson 5, Unit 5, speaking, asking and giving information about food. So first I talked about the words. Now I want to speak about the words. We have your resources. And what do you have to do? Prepare, present, practice, produce, and recycle. Next. Okay, next. So, yeah, speaking. Next. How do I start? It's easy to say, let's do it, let's speak. How do I start? Next. First, you can do a warm-up, right? You can remind them of the words they learned before. How? You can play a game of concentration. Like, you remove the object. Next. You can play memory. Next. 20 questions, Pictionary. Next. Right? Wait a little bit. So what do I do when I make them play games, for example? You're preparing. Next. Right. So I want to speak. Let's speak. But first, what do I see here? Who are they? Rose, Mom. Where are they? Kitchen. What do you see in box number 1? What do you see? Eggs. What do you see? Butter. You can ask, because we are far from each other, I will do it myself, yeah? Ask your student, point. Point to the eggs. Point to the milk. Point to the butter. Where is the fridge? What am I doing? Preparing, because I taught the vocabulary before, right? Now, ask your students, what is mom making? What is mom making? A salad? Who said? Cake. Mom is making cake. Is there a cake here? No. What are you doing? Thinking. You are predicting, right? So ask your students, what are they making? Now, next. You're predicting, you're preparing. Next. Same. Next. Now, you close your books and you listen. What you're going to listen. What is mom making? Is it a cake? So you listen and see. Can you click? No. No, Kim. Did you click on audio? No, go back to the presentation. Yes, it's okay. Leave it. So, you close your books and you listen to this conversation, right? And what do you do when you listen? What do you want to know? A cake or not? Maybe it's a salad. Maybe it's mensev. Right? So, you gave them a task. They have to pay attention and find out. If I just play the audio, but if you give them a task, you will get them to pay attention to what's going on. Why? They don't want everyone to answer, and they do not answer. Right? They want to be the same as the others. Next. What is mom making? That's their task. Next. Next. Now, why is mom making a cake? So that's your second task. Why do I need a second task? Why do I need a second task? I want to do what? Listen again. Should I just say, listen again? So I give them a task to pay attention, right? So they listen again, and why is mom making a cake? Click, please. To check your prediction, you listen again. Click. Play the audio again to confirm. Why is she, I cannot, sorry the audio did not work, but she's making a cake because it's Rose's birthday. Please. So now you know what the conversation is about. What is it about? Making a cake or baking a cake. And why are they baking a cake? Because it's her birthday. In your teacher's guide, you will have more activities to practice the dialogue. You have instructions to listen and read and repeat after the narrator and act it out in front of the classroom. So now you practice, you listen, you practice, you memorize the dialogue, you know what it's talking about. What you're gonna do next? Produce the language, right? So after they memorize the dialogue, you can give your students a worksheet, right? I think you have it. Yes, thank you. So you have a worksheet, and you can ask your students to write and draw, right? What? Can you model? What are you cooking? I'm making a salad. Can I help? Yes, give me some. Peppers. Oh no, we don't have any? Next. Peppers. Next. And now you will Now that they memorize, they know the words, they know the vocabulary, they know the conversation, they can do what? Write and say their own words. So they're using. So I would like you to do it now, please. Together with a friend. You have here the structures and the language. Can you do it quickly in 2 minutes in pairs? Write a dialogue and come here and read it for us, please. You can say anything, okay? It doesn't need to be a real recipe. You can be silly. You don't think they can write a question? You don't think that after they practice the dialogue, they read it, they read it, they cannot? Okay, so what can we do to fix that? I have a solution for you. Instead of giving them blanks, what can I do? I give the questions, right? I give it up to here. And they put the words that they learned. Can they do the words? It's okay. You give the question, what are you cooking? I'm making, they will say, I'm making what? A salad. The other student, can I help? Yes. Give me some peppers. Okay, I want to say something different. I don't like peppers. Cucumbers. Give me some cucumbers. Oh no, we don't have any cucumbers. Can you give me, you write all the questions and the answers. You just have them write, right? Because they know the words. Is this still conversation when they come here and say it? Yes, they use their words, but you help them, right? So it's okay. Yeah? No, but she's saying that grade 3 cannot do it. Yeah? But did I solve your problem? When you can say, I don't agree. You can come here, and they will say, do you want to come with me and do it? Let's do it. Yeah? So imagine, forget, my mind, okay. Okay? They did not write any question. I left just blanks. Okay, who you want to be? Student 1 or 2? 2. Only this part, yeah? Yes. Yeah, okay. What are you cooking? Can I help? Oh no, we don't have any yogurt. I told you. You write again. You will write again like this. Okay, give me some. What's the other? The hard yogurt. Jamid. Okay, give me some jamid.